It's 2019 and there's no such thing as whole wheat grain Pop-Tarts? Bang your head to the opening riff! I don't know if there are actually any, I really don't know if there are actually any whole grain wheat Pop-Tart, whole wheat grain, whole grain wheat, whatever, you know what I'm talking about, you know, wholeness, not that white bread shit, you know, whole grain wheat Pop-Tarts. I don't know if there are, there just don't happen to be any at my local food line, but if you happen to find some, holla at your boy. And your boy is J-Dub. What's happening, y'all? Welcome to episode 38 of The Real Rush right here on YouTube. As you can see, I don't have my pen and pad or nothing today. You know why? Because later on today, today is Sunday, June 23rd, 2K19, which means later on today, I am going to be performing with my fellow stagecoach Bandits for our monthly improv show, a monthly third Friday improv show that got moved to special Sunday, special start time of 6:30, just like a pay-per-view, which is crazy because tonight is actually a fucking pay-per-view night with WWE Stomping Grounds, so I'll be catching that afterwards, but that's the passion that I have for that shit right there, the fact that I'm missing a pay-per-view for this show. I was like, all in. All in. As soon as they rescheduled it to Sunday night, I said I'm all in, baby. So I'm a little bit amped, like I am for every episode. But we're just going to do this off the cuff because I'm actually going to kind of use this as a warm-up for tonight's performance. So there were only 3 movies that I had to review for y'all this week. Is there anything else that I really need to report? I don't think so. I did see the Red Band trailer of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, the 10th film from Quentin Tarantino. Yes, you may dispute that with me all you want, but I'm calling it the 10th film, and I'm going to tell you why in a later episode because I need to get through this stuff. But I saw the Red Band trailer. Can't wait for that movie. That is hands down my most anticipated movie of, if not the summer, maybe the year, because it is my boy Tarantino, best motherfucking director of all time, putting this one out. So I saw the Red Band trailer for that. A lot of people ask me, J-Dub, you're a movie man. When the trailers drop and you see like the social media buzz about it, like everybody saw the trailer, your boy tries to avoid that. Everybody's like, how the hell have you not seen these trailers yet? Because I like getting the experience in the theater. Call it my movie nerdism or movie geekism, movie buffism, movie championism, whatever you want to call it, but that's what I like to do. For example, Endgame. I didn't properly see the trailer for that until like a month before that joint came out. So, boom. So, yeah. I had just seen the Red Band trailer for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Geeked as fuck. So, other than that, I think we're good. Let's go ahead and get on down to the reviews of this week's Real Rush ticket. Let's get on down to this episode's brass tacks. And I'm actually going a little bit more wired because I still have to get ready for tonight. So, yeah. We're working on a little bit of a truncated timetable. So this episode with me pretty much just winging it is either going to be really fucking awesome or it's going to fucking bail. But hey, all in no matter what. The captain will sink with his goddamn ship if he has to. But this ain't no sinking ship, baby. So let's get on to this week's brass tacks, this week's movie reviews. What's first up on this week's Real Rush tickets? Let us start with the latest and possibly once again final installment of the Toy Story franchise, and that would be Toy Story 4. Toy Story 4. Yeah, Toy Story 4. I was stoked as hell to see this. I finally did catch up on all the Toy Story movies. Like I said, last episode, I had seen the first Toy Story back in high school a long time ago in a keyboarding class, but I had never seen 2 or 3, and I finally saw those over the last preceding days, so I could catch up and be all ready for Toy Story 4. So that way I'm able to follow the timeline. So Toy Story 4. Not to totally spoil anything from the previous movie, but, you know, Woody and the gang, Woody, Buzz and the gang, they're with a new kid now. Her name's Bonnie. So they're there for Bonnie, same as they were for Andy in the first 3 movies. And in this episode, or in this installment, Bonnie and her family go take a road trip. Now this is just before Bonnie's first day of school, and during orientation, she makes a little figurine. It's called Forky. It's made out of a spork. It's voiced by Tony Hale. He is hilarious, and that becomes her new toy. And when Sporky cannot get over the fact that he was made from trash, and that he is a toy and not trash, he escapes, and it's up to Wooded to bring him back into Bonnie's arms, so that way she's not missing one, now possibly two, of her beloved toys. And along the journey, Woody Long runs into an old friend from a couple of the movies ago, Bo, and her three little sheep, which I forget the names of. It's like Gruff and Billy and Goat or something, I forget. But yeah, so, Toy Story 4. This is one of the few franchises that I can honestly say that there's no weak movie in the franchise. I know the last couple episodes I've been saying like the final installments of some franchises are the weakest ones. But this one I honestly cannot pick a weak entry. I can totally order them as I did with my fellow movie buff boy the other night. So, in order as I would rank Toy Story, it would go from best to worst. Toy Story 3 is my hands down favorite. Go 1, 4, and 2. Now again, that's not to say that 2 is the weakest in the franchise or that 4 is not as good as 1 or 3. But yeah, well, I don't know exactly how to explain it. This is just one of those few franchises where it's really hard to not have them on an equal playing field, but still have one be more superior than the other. It's funny, it's poignant, it does make you laugh, it does make you cry, and it's fun for the whole family. You got Tom Hanks, you got Tim Allen, you got Andy Potts coming back, you got Key and Peele are up in it in the joint, they're funny as hell, but you also have who shows up as this dude named Duke Kaboom at one point in the joint. Our boy Keanu raises up in this, y'all, and he's hilarious. He's the selling point. He is the real Rush selling point of Toy Story 4. It's just like it's like the previous 3, but it's different. And like I can't stress enough, Toy Story seems to be one of the very few franchises that could somewhat be the same movie, but have a different storyline and be a completely different movie and still hit you in completely different ways. This one is no different. I saw it up at the Airbacks. Let's do that again. This is what happens live when I'm doing improv, y'all. If I fuck up a line, I gotta keep going. So that's how we're doing this. So this is kind of a live-ish episode. There you go. So episode 38, live-ish. Boom. So I saw this up at the Airbus Thursday night. That was our 6th Thursday in a row up at the Airbus. So I saw it in IMAX. You want to make sure that you see that you not only go see Toy Story 4, but it's playing everywhere, y'all. Go see it in the highest quality possible. You will not be disappointed. I just caught up on all the Toy Stories. I bought them all on Blu-ray, so catch up on them. And of course, my luck, what should happen just a couple days before Toy Story 4 come out? But they dropped the 4K version of all 3. Will I probably get them all at some point? Yes, I will. I'm sure I will. So that way I can gift these to my niece maybe one day, since they'll be a little bit retro at that point. You know, think about how far Blu-ray and DVD and 4K, and now we're on the verge of 8K and all that. So, yeah. But speaking of 4s, Toy Story 4 does not disappoint whatsoever. Go get you, some Pixar fun. I don't know how I would rank it amongst the other Pixar movies, but Toy Story is definitely a superior franchise. So if that doesn't sell you alone, and like I said, it's for kids and adults. Everybody's going to get a kick out of it. So Toy Story 4, go check it out. Next up on this episode's Real Rush Ticket, we go from the family-oriented Toy Story to the fucked up in the head Toy Story, or the fucked up in the microchip Toy Story. Literally. Child's Play. This is a remake slash reboot of the classic 1988 horror film that spawned a franchise that turned into a parody of itself towards, the late 90s and on from there. I haven't seen any of the latest ones. I heard the very latest one went a little bit more back to its roots. I don't even know the names of them. There's been so many of them. At least I can't think of them off the top of my head. There's like Bride and Seed and Sperm of Chucky, I'm sure there is. Chucky Semen. Boom. Here you go, kids. So, it's Child's Play. We have remake, reboot. In this one, we still got the doll, Chucky. He's no longer a good guy's doll. He's a buddy doll, which is kind of a riff, seeing as in that the original Chucky was inspired by my buddy doll that came out in the 80s that I had, and I also had Corky that came out in the 80s. That motherfucker talked. My buddy didn't, but if you meld them together, if they got to, basically if my buddy and Cricket got Corky's speaking ass sister got together and fuck, you'd have Chucky, because I was always off the deep end, growing up. So I had some dark humor with my toys growing up. So if they actually did hear me, like any of the toys in Toy Story or like Child's Play or anything like that, then they have grown up with a fucked up sense of humor as well. I hold on to these things. I'm not sure exactly. They're somewhere around here somewhere, but they don't work. They're all fucked up. They look a little fucked up. They look like something that would be out of Annabelle probably, but we'll let my spirit haunt somebody else, some future generation. That's a future generation's worry. Anywho, off my tangent soapbox there. Back to Child's Play. So this is just like the original. It's called Buddy instead of Good Guys. And Buddy is spelled with an I. And it's funny that it's spelled with an I, because everything that's I these days is associated with what? iPads and iPhones and Apple and smart shit. Anything that can connect to the internet, right? So instead of this doll Chucky being possessed by that of a spirit of a fucking recently deceased serial killer, instead in this one, he is a smart doll that will help no child go unfriended. It will have every child be loved worldwide. But not only that, it can connect to your internet, so it can connect to it can be your remote control. It could probably control the camera that I'm talking into. It can control your lights, your temperature system, all types of crazy shit. Basically, it's like a walking, talking 5-year-old Alexa, and it learns too. But this one, that this particular kid gets from his mom, played by the hot Aubrey Plaza, ma'am. This one, it's got a little bit of a kink in its system. So it's learning, it's playful, it's loyal towards Andy. But if you know anything about this franchise, it's gonna start chopping motherfuckers up real soon into the movie, which is great because the movie's only like an hour and a half, and it stays true to. It's very reminiscent of the old school 80s like horror movie franchise that most of us grew up with and have come to love. It doesn't, excuse me, it doesn't parody itself too much. It's a little bit self-aware at points, but the dark humor in it and the kills in it are what sell it. And Mark Hamill as the voice of Chucky. So you got Aubrey Plaza, you got Gabriel Bateman as the kid. I don't remember if his name is Andy in this one or not, but he's the kid. You got Brian Tyree Henry. He's lighting it up these days, and you got Mark Hamill as the voice of Chucky, and he's killing it because even at certain points you can detect just a little bit of Mark Hamill's Joker just melded into. So basically, if my buddy and Corky and Cricket, because it's 2019, and the Joker got together and fucked, then you would get the voice of Chucky. It's devilish and it's great and it's awesome. He completely sells it, and is straight up for like the retro horror fans, because it's not like jump scares every 2 seconds that are just set up to be that way. Like it's like I said, it's very reminiscent of the retro horror movie styles, and especially of the Child's Play franchise. So right off the bat, right there, if you're a fan of the Child's Play franchise, you're not going to be disappointed by this remake reboot. Stay through the credits. You get to hear Mark Hamill sing. It's devilish. It's devilish. Do you stay through the credits of Toy Story 4 as well, just to retro that. But yeah, stay through the credits of Child's Play. If you've never seen a Child's Play movie before, any of the Chucky movies, this is a fresh start, and it should make you want to watch the previous ones as well. Do I want to compare this to the previous ones? Not really. I'm not really into comparisons these days when it comes to comparing old to new. The best I can say is that it stays true, it doesn't deviate, and it doesn't fuck up upon reboot. So boom, Child's Play. It's playing everywhere. If you can, make that a double feature. Obviously don't take the kids to go see Child's Play, even though I did hear a couple of kid-like chuckles in the audience, and I'm pretty sure that was not the Hoyt surround sound. So I'm not sure if you should bring your kids to this one. But if you yourself, like me, want to make it a double feature, I was not able to make this one the double feature as my schedule did not permit. But I saw this on Friday night. But yeah, I would make this the double feature if that sounds like a good recommendation. Go get your toy fix in. I'm not sure which one you would see first over the other, Toy Story 4 or over Child's Play, but both of them are hot, y'all! And they both playing everywhere. So Child's Play, I almost said Toy Story 4. Child's Play, whatever. Child's Play, it's playing everywhere. Go see that and enjoy yourselves. And last up on this episode's Real Rush Ticket, we go to what we saw yesterday. We go to the new Luc Besson joint, Anna. And as we know, Luc Besson is the fucking king of ass-kicking female badassery. Because you had Nikita, a la La Femme Nikita. You had Lilu, a la The Fifth Element. You had Lucy, a la Lucy. And now you have Anna, a la Anna. And in this one, Anna, played by Sasha Luss. Luss? I'm sorry if I fucked up your name, ma'am. Ma'am, you still fine. She plays Anna, a model who's also a secret assassin. She's out to get somebody. That's pretty much the plot right there. I mean, if you've seen any type of like super soldier, super secret agent, on the down low, but they're really like a model or an actor or some shit like that. If you've seen that type of movie, then this one is pretty much the same. But there's a little bit of a twist in it because, she's working with Luke Evans. He's the KGB agent that she's associated with, but she's also being hunted down by Cillian Murphy, a CIA agent, and who's holding it down over Luke Evans and Sasha Luss in the KGB, but Helen Mirren doing a pretty good, very, very dank, almost villainous. You're not sure if she's villainous or not. Russian head of KGB, or somewhat head of KGB, She holding it down. Helen Mirren gonna hold it down, y'all. So, apart from that, the action in it is pretty damn good. The fight scenes are awesome. The only problem that I had with it was its narrative. Its narrative goes back and forth and back and forth. This takes place between like 1985 and 1990, 1991, something like that. So the way that it goes back and forth, it can be confusing. It all does eventually play out. So it's much like Atomic Blonde in that aspect, respect, whatever, where eventually everything's not spelled out for you. So it is a very smart thriller. The narrative, however, and that's what almost kept me from fully liking Atomic Blonde, was the fact that it wasn't coming together, but as soon as it comes together at the end, it made it also worth it, and that's why Atomic Blonde was so cool. Does this feel like an Atomic Blonde ripoff? I don't necessarily want to say that, but it does kind of have that vibe. But you can't really say that Luc Besson is ripping off a badass female when he's the king of, badass females that aren't superheroes to a certain degree. Lilu, that's debatable. She's definitely on some superhero shit. And maybe even Lucy. So, With this one, the formula is there. It's very it's what's the word I'm looking for here? It's mirror imaged of some older movies. It still works though, and there you go. Back to the narrative. The way that it jumps back and forth, I felt that it can be confusing, and I see that this is going to get some mixed reviews amongst the audiences. The performances in it are awesome. Like I said, the action and the fight sequences are well worth the wait throughout the somewhat sluggish parts in the movie. But go into it knowing that it's the editing and the narrative that is going to cause a little bit of confusion. But if you go into it knowing that, and that's not spoiling anything, that's actually helping you out, that is going to give you a much clearer picture once the movie is all finished. So in that sense, it is still a pretty decent, smart spy thriller. I would say still see it. With the average audience, you're probably going to want to matinee this one. The reaction was all over the place at Hoyt's yesterday. So I didn't see Child's Play at Hoyt's. I saw Child's Play at Centerville. Boom. So there were kids at Child's Play in Centerville, possibly. But I saw Anna at Hoyt's last night, and the audience reaction was over the place. I stuck through it because, you know me, I can pinpoint on it. I could feel a little bit of, this is not quite what I was expecting amongst the audience. And there were two chicks that were sitting up front that were just absolutely loving it. Just laughing, just having a ball throughout this fucking joint. So, right down the middle is going to be an average watch. I would matinee this one for the average viewer. If you're a Luc Besson fan, and you're a fan of this type of movie it is, you can still go see it and see for yourself. So yeah, decent effort by Luc Besson. I wouldn't run out to see it, but it's still pretty decent. Anna, check it out when and where you can. Do see it in the theater if you plan on seeing it in the theater. I did say matinee it. I didn't say wait for it to come out on Netflix or Redbox or Redflix or fucking Netbox or whatever it is that you do these days. None of that. Go see Anna in the theater if you're gonna go see it. Boom, and you'll enjoy. Anna, she fine too. And that, ladies and gents, wraps it up for this for episode 38 of The Real Rush right here on YouTube. I can't believe I just got through those reviews with no pad or anything. So I'm good and warmed up for tonight's performance that is about to go down here. Let's see, it is 2:36 as I film this episode, which means that y'all be seeing this sometime tomorrow, aka Monday, because I'm not going to have time to edit all this shit before I get ready. I got to be at the theater at like 5:30, so that'll be interesting. So yeah, I'm good and loose. I'm good and loose. Good and loose, baby. But speaking of improv stuff, since this episode will be coming out after tonight's performance, obviously, you won't be able to buy tickets for tonight's performance by the time you see this. But if you came out, thank you for coming out. I'll tell you how it went next episode on episode 39. But tickets are still available for next weekend's performance called Improvicon. Yes, what I'm dubbing as the WrestleMania of Northern Virginia Improv. It's the first ever Improvicon. It's us, Stagecoach Bandits, versus 4 of the teams. We're all gonna go head to head in fucking amazingly epic improv comedy battle to see who is the bestest of the best in Northern Virginia Improv. That's going down next Saturday, June 29th. Theater on the Green, aka the Vent Hill Theater, out in Fauquier County. That is located at 4225. Am I getting that fucking address correct? See, I had this on standby just in case. That is located at... That's it. Where the fuck is it? Wait a minute. That is at 4225 Aiken Drive, Warrenton, Virginia. Again, that's at 4225 Aiken, Virginia. God damn, 4225 Aiken Drive in Warrenton, Virginia. That's next Saturday, Improvicon. Saturday, June 29th, 7 o'clock. Don't be late. Tickets are $12 online, $15 at the door. And you can, don't forget, recommended ages are 14 and up. It's a PG-13 show. We'll see how us bandits do with us being the most rated R in the fucking joint. But it's 14 and up. Come on out. Tickets are available at apm.activecommunities.com. That is Alpha Paul Michael .activecommunities.com, and just search Improvicon on that website. You should be able to find tickets that way. Come on out, wear your black, support the Bandits, because the Bandits are back in black. We're gonna say, you know I'm glad to be back. And we gonna tear everybody's asses up, y'all. Gonna run wild all over them. So boom, Improvicon, that's next Saturday. Get your tickets now. Come on out, wear your black, support the Bandits. And that is a wrap, once again, for episode 38 of The Real Rush, right here on YouTube. If you don't join us for Improvicon next weekend, then you can at least join us back here next weekend for episode 39 of The Real Rush, right back here on YouTube, where next week I will have reviewed for you. Let's see, we have Annabelle Comes Home. Annabelle, don't bring your ass home. And if you gonna bring your ass home, don't bring your ass to this house. Okay? I've seen Annabelle Creation, and I've seen The Nun. I just saw The Conjuring for the first time last night to catch up on this whole franchise, so that still leaves Annabelle, the first Annabelle, and The Conjuring 2 that I need to catch up on. And The Conjuring, it was some freaky shit to watch last night. So Annabelle Come Home, don't bring your ass to this home, but Annabelle Comes Home, we'll have that review for you next week. We'll also have reviewed for you. We'll have Yesterday. That is one that I'm super stoked about. That is one of my most highly anticipated movies of the summer. Hands down. It's by my boy Danny Boyle, and it's about the Beatles. So hell yeah. Yesterday, we'll have that review for y'all next week. We'll also have Wild Rose. That's an independent film. Very lesser known. But we're going to have that review for you. I'm going into this one blind. Aside from the synopsis that I read on the Angelica website, I haven't seen any trailers for it as of yet. That means if I don't see any if I don't go to the theater between now and next Friday, I ain't gonna see. So unless they show a trailer before Annabelle Comes Home or Yesterday, then I ain't gonna see no trailers for no goddamn Wild Rose. But that means I will be going into it fresh, just like Last Black Man in San Francisco turned out to be one of the best movies of the year so far. So boom, we'll have those for you next weekend. In the meantime, as always, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, suggestions, any shit like that, go ahead and feel free to type those on into this YouTube page where you are viewing this episode right here, or send me a DM. I will get back to you as soon as possible. But yeah, if you have subscribed to The Real Rush here on YouTube, thank you for doing that. If you haven't done that yet, what you're waiting on? You want to hit subscribe right now, so that way you're staying tuned and you're up to date once I drop the latest episode of The Real Rush. And please continue to spread the word of The Real Rush, like everybody should be spreading love these days, y'all. And as always, you can always follow your boy on Instagram for my live movie check-ins as they occur. That is, I grabbed the pen for this one. That is at JDubChampion, hashtag The Real Rush. And for The Real Rush, ladies and gents, I am your boy J-Dub. Thank you for watching, once again, episode 38 and all the episodes so far of The Real Rush right here on YouTube. Remember, when you're at the movies, chill out, yo. No need for the talking. You can put the smartphones and the smartwatches away for 2.5 hours, because I guarantee you, the convos, the chats, the time, it's all going to be waiting for you after the movie. Enjoy yourselves at the movies, y'all. Have fun, y'all. Love J-Dub. And we'll see you next weekend. Peace out.